Robin from this Teen Titans animated series, what is your diet? No, I get it. I know he's a martial arts fighter, and I know he trains so hard he pushes himself above his limit because he even trains till he's tired. With all that being said, when you're done with this video, it still technically doesn't make sense on how a human can be this strong. Honestly, I'm convinced this Robin might have got injected by Bugs Bunny with a little bit of Toon Force, just a little bit. This concrete he can push off with his muscle. Somebody explain to me, how on earth does he have muscles to catch a giant grizzly and then toss it with his muscle? Huh? How? Based on how his physique looks, it does not look like he can lift and toss 500 or more pounds. Grizzlies can weigh from 500 to even up to 800 pounds, and he lifted it up and tossed it with his freaking muscle. He's quite a bit stronger than Tin Man because look how many robots are on him and he just pushed them all off with his muscle, yo. See, understanding Robin's strength gets a little tricky because he's technically essentially the only human, quote unquote, DC human on the team of superpowered gods, basically. So he's the most grounded. So in a weird way, it's kind of tricky to understand his might because we can't just assume he's on that level just from what they can do. To really get an understanding of what humans can do in this cartoon universe, there's cartoon logic, so humans can do stuff they shouldn't do in this universe, Robin being one of them, of course, as you can tell from this video so far. The best way to understand his muscle is to compare him to the other ridiculously strong character of this universe that's technically a human, apparently. Or at the very least, somebody that doesn't have superpowers, like on the same degree as Raven or freaking Starfire or something. It's this being known as Slade. I think he's the best idea we can get to understand his muscle, comparing his muscle to Robin's. Both reminded me of Baki characters. When I say Baki characters, I mean anime characters that are super strong for no reason, even though they're just humans, they still can achieve superhuman feats. That's what I mean. There's implications. Robin and Slade in this universe are probably stronger than your average gorilla by a decently wide margin. We literally have seen Slade's muscles clash with Beast Boy when he's transformed into a tiger. Look at Slade doing this to freaking Beast Boy. As a gorilla in muscle, y'all make this make sense, please. Like, I'm not trying to overhype him nothing. I'm not saying Slade or Robin is stronger than Beast Boy in these forms. I'm just saying the fact that he's giving him this much issue, even though Beast Boy does overpower him eventually in muscle, is insanity still. Like, it's clear that him and Slade are comparable in raw muscle. If you were to say this Robin can lift 5 or 10 tons, I really wouldn't argue against it, because when you see his muscle against these superhuman beings, it just really doesn't make any sense. There's this reoccurring opponent these Titans have to fight all the time, just being on the center block. Look how big center block is compared to a normal sized character, right? Very massive. We literally see Robin pick this being up and slam him. There is implications he does lift weights though, despite what his physique might say. I mean, the Titans tower does have a weight room. I mean, he's the only character in this tower that doesn't have powers. It would make sense that he would have to push himself past his limit in muscle. How much do you think this Robin can lift? Someone with this kind of strength, and as a skilled fighter as he is, it only makes sense that the weight of his hits are crazy. He sends tables flying with ease. He can actually throw his staff hard enough to embed it into the rocks. I'm not even talking about his weapons, just blunt hits. He's punching through metal. He can shove men through metal railings. He does a Goldberg spear to somebody hard enough to where it knocks the billboard off the building. He can sling characters like Madame Rouge through stone. When he was Red X, let's just say he can hit hard enough to send cyborgs flying, and he's not light, y'all. He even hit Starfire so hard with his staff that he caved in the car, but doing so, he crumbled up his own staff. Like, these are no tricks, y'all. This is just straight bare hands and kicks punching through stone. Look how his kicks are always engraving the wall. He's not a fan of doors, even if they're metal. Look at the stuff he casually does when it comes to shattering boulders. He can bust through a stone ceiling. Yeah, he crossed over with the Teen Titans Go Gag version. Yep. Is this even a shock that he can strike and punch, kick through brick walls? Guys, make this make sense. This giant mechanized thing he just caved in the ground with his strikes. Look at the weight of his strikes hitting the ground, sending rubble flying. What street tier person do you know that can hit hard enough to create his own shockwaves, y'all? Like, what the heck? We see him strike hard enough to send cinder block back. Like, he felt that from him. Narratively, the writers low-key had to boost him. Even if they don't consciously do it, they kind of had to boost him so he won't be just fodder compared to his other teammates. It's kind of like power creep. It's so unintentional, but it kind of happens just with the job. Like, for example, this being Cinderblock, you're probably tired of me bringing up in this video. Look how big this guy is, right? Very strong being physically. And he's a being that can take hits from multiple powerhouses of the whole squad. But yet somehow Robin is constantly able to kind of stagger and damage him with the weight of his hits. No, seriously, guys, this is really ludicrous. Look how he's doing this to him one-on-one with no staff, just straight punches. and kind of made him drowsy on his own. This is the same guy you always see box the whole Titans team, but yet Robin can take him on one-on-one, and this guy can take huge explosions this massive. So this guy's cinder block can withstand apartments exploding, basically, like the impacts like that. But yet Robin, by himself, with bare kicks and punches, he can do crazy damage to this guy somehow. Like how? This would imply, just like the rest of the Titans, even though he's technically the weakest, he would still be strong enough to blow down apartments based on the beings that's durable enough to withstand attacks like that, withstand huge explosions that can take down buildings. He can still damage them in 1v1 kind of fights and actually make them drowsy. Sure, there are occasions where it's a team effort like Starfire and him working together, but he still is able to hit this hard to make him drowsy. And I know what you're thinking. No, these are outliers. No, I can't really call it an outlier either. There's legit occasions of Cinderblock blocking Starfire's hits, but yet Robin is able to affect them. Do you know what this is implying? Do you know how hard Starfire can hit on this Teen Titans squad? Starfire is the same character that's consistently strong enough to make her own localized earthquakes to shake the whole city block, shake the whole buildings in the area. She even shook a whole bunch of buildings here, like the whole block. Yes, some of this is gag, but there's certain cases where it's not a gag. But yet, beings as strong as Starfire gets her crap blocked like Cinderblock. But yet, Robin can hit him this hard, and even on certain occasions, take him on 1v1, make him drowsy. He's damaging beings that can withstand hits from characters that can produce their own localized earthquakes. Okay, seriously, this Robin might actually be a Baki character. For the most part, I haven't even really went over his weapons yet, but his gear on top of his striking or throwing power makes him even scarier. Look what he does to these logs. Yes, he has projectiles he can literally throw that can do this much damage. He doesn't even have to get near you. He's out here cutting cannons on Gatling guns like they're butter. Kind of steel. Then we can talk about his strikes or just his blast power with his gear. His explosives can bring down heavy gears this large. When he's outmatched against characters that can make rock walls, he can just use his gear to blast through it and them. Matter of fact, he has gear that's so destructive, Raven has to shield the team so they don't get blew away. He can blow away the whole block. Yeah. Don't ask, but when he was Red X, he has gear that can saw limos in half, y'all. He has gear that was able to split the ground open. Like, what the? Part of the reason why he can do all this stuff, you could argue it could be partly because of his combat speed. You know, speed is weight. If you can strike real fast, you can increase how hard you can hit on top of your muscle. And we see him deflecting blasts. He's pretty fast combat speed wise. Like, I'm talking about, it will look straight up like some anime striking type stuff. Dodging strikes at the very last second. Dodges arrow hits consistently. Even catches one. Energy blast, he's always dodging. Whether it's far away or close, it doesn't seem like you can hit him with your energy weapon. This is clear combat speed, blocking it with his staff. You can't tell me this guy isn't massively above superhuman. He's blitzing all these people at the same time. So whether it's concussive, energy blast, arrows, or even bullets he can constantly react to, he's way faster than the speed of sound, honestly, when it comes to his hand speed. Whatever strength he might lack, you can say it's his speed that makes up for it. Like, yeah, we know the Titans would never, like, try to kill each other for real, but he's got to be in their league of speed. It's just too obvious when it comes to his combat speed. He doesn't beat them with raw power. He uses a mixture of his agility, his combat speed, and his tactics, his gear and stuff, but he's fast enough to actually do all this before all these characters can even do anything, including characters like Raven, who can react to beings like Dr. Light, beings that can shoot out actual beams of light. Notice how she's able to put up her shield before the light beam even gets to them. To even be remotely able to do this to Raven, reflex-wise, lets you know that he has to be dang near right there close to light speed reflexes. This kind of thing is consistent too. I wouldn't even call it a gag at this point. Whatever his strength he might lack, he makes up with it in his raw speed. He might even be the most agile on the team. Of course, I'm not saying he can sprint this fast. I'm talking about pure reflexes, his hands, combat speed, stuff like that. I mean, sure, you can blame cartoon logic, but some of the characters that are not even considered speedsters are absurdly fast. Like Madame Rouge, for example, he's fast enough to compete with in just raw combat speed. You're probably thinking, why is this impressive? Well, this is actually really impressive, considering she's literally got Flash on the edge, yo. A speedster. Probably the fastest guy in the Teen Titans universe we've seen. somebody that's definitely faster than the speed of light. He has better reflexes than characters like Raven who can react to light. So he's literally the fastest character. Slow characters in this universe can react to light. Like I'm talking about, this is the same character that's so fast he can literally run to Paris and back that fast. That was literally like a second. If you do the calculations comparing how long that would take between Flash running from United States to Paris and back, I calculated the shortest possible distance between Paris and United States just to not overhype him. That's still over 32,000 times faster than the speed of sound. And Madame Rouge, somebody that Robin has to box with, is giving these kind of guys competitions and combat speed. So Robin has to be pretty much dang near close to light speed, honestly. If he's straight up boxing characters like this, who's giving Kid Flash issues in this universe. Oh, and he's geared up, a lockpick in his finger glove. I swear Batman tier characters conveniently have these lockpicks everywhere they need them. Batman has batarangs. He has a disc that seem to have everything, like a fire extinguisher disc, a disc that short circuits, technology, freezing disc against hexy opponents, putty, flashbang pellets. You wouldn't be a Batman character without some smoke. That's why he got a grapple gun, something else that helps him restrain beings, bird rings. Yeah, his version of batarangs. Yeah, they cut. He can put two together to make his own sword and blade. He can use a blade. He got skills with that as well. He can make his own metal tonfa. He can pretty much mimic Sun Wukong with his staff, or you could say power pole extend like Goku. Like, it can really extend really freaking far. Like, what in the heck? Bruh. You ever wondered about his gear on how he can glide and stuff? Well, his gear is not just no ordinary gear, by the way.
Loving this cape, it's positively luscious.
It's a high-density polymerized titanium, 10 times stronger than steel.
He has gear like the holographic projector. He can fire energy blasts from his palm. Shurikens that can shoot energy? What the? He has gear that can counter the whole team, basically. Like Beast Boy's transformations, he couldn't get up out of it. Look at how his gear can pull cars together. And Starfire, she can get restrained. In DC Comics or DC in general, Batman and Robin are legendary. So there's certain shows that don't even bother going over Robin's origin at this point because they figure you should know it. In Teen Titans, the animated series, this is the case. But they still hint at his origin and Batman in this universe, even though we never see Batman really.
I might even become like a father to you.
I already have a father.
Then let me see through your eyes.
Hey! I'm you!
DNA's identical.
No, not a clone. I'm you! Another you from another universe.
Did you notice the little quote? The Robin from the other dimension is literally Dick Grayson's name spelled backwards. They even hinted at it. They even hinted at a possible future version of this Robin eventually becoming Nightwing. So technically he's the physical weakest, but it don't seem like he's that far behind when it comes to the way to his strikes, honestly. Even without no superpowers, apparently. I don't understand why him and Slade are so freaking strong. Robin is similar to Slade, somebody else that doesn't have no crazy superpowers like that, just mainly relies on skills. Slade can create his own shockwave as well. Like, it just don't make no sense. Like, just imagine the possible future when he grows up to be Nightwing. He's gonna be making his own localized earthquakes without no superpowers, yo, at this rate of how strong he is. But before I get going, y'all, thanks for the donations. Like, share, subscribe. Robin in this animated Teen Titans is something serious. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.